escaping the realm of darkness. The paranormal guys are on a quest to find the answers to the hard questions of where the normal meets the paranormal and the weird, and where the natural meets the unnatural. So grab your holy water, call your mama, and get ready for the Paranormal Guys podcast.
Booyah!
Well, tonight's the first night I grabbed my water. There it is.
We got some water. Well, you know what? I got an energy drink, man. I have to have an energy drink. You know, do you
I have
do
my
energy drinks?
I do like once in a great while.
Yeah. I used to do a lot of cocaine, but I don't like the smell of it anymore. So
Yeah, whatever.
yeah, I don't do cocaine, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paranormal Guys podcast. I am Neal Gibbons, your host.
You just do Diet Coke now. So.
Just Diet Coke. It's half the Coke,
half the Coke, half the experience, right?
Yeah. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paranormal Guys podcast. That's Scotty Rorick, my buddy, my pal. We are the Paranormal Guys, and tonight,
Paranormal Guys, we're on the road this weekend.
Yeah, so we had a nice time over the weekend. We met a lot of people. We were in Wisconsin. We were in Madison, Wisconsin. I helped Scotty out with. I helped him out with the ghost tour, and I have a whole bunch of mosquito bites because of Scotty. So here's the story, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you what happened, okay? First, we go to the Annex, which is in Madison Square. I mean, in Madison Square. In Madison, Wisconsin.
Madison Square, and there was a garden there. So.
What's that?
Madison, and there was a square, and it was a garden.
Yeah. And we were there. We're having a nice time, catching up with people and this and that. Everybody's having a nice little time.
We're talking to Dave Strader.
What's that?
We're talking to Strader.
Yeah.
Who else were we talking to?
We were talking to Dave. We're talking to we're talking to Larry. Aaron. Aaron. He's going to be on our show from Netflix, 28 Days.
Yeah.
What's his last name again?
Guy from 28 Days.
Dude, he was a really nice kid. I mean, he was a real nice guy, you know? I know his girlfriend. I met his girlfriend, a cat.
Yeah.
She was a nice girl too, you know. Met those people. He was from that show 28 Days.
She's on the show with us here too. So
say that again.
She's coming on the show too.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. So we go out there, and Scotty says to me, ladies and gentlemen, he says, "Hey, come on out with me to this ghost tour. We're going to go to the Sanatorium Cemetery." I said, all right, you know, I'll head over there. It's going to be a minute. So I get over there, and what does Scotty have on? It's number one, it's like 90 degrees out, ladies and gentlemen, 90 degrees out. Yeah. It's hot.
Yeah.
And he's got this sweatshirt on, and I'm thinking, why has he got this sweatshirt on? I'm thinking, is he all right? So yeah, so he points to his head, right? But he doesn't inform me, hey, Neal, we're going into the woods. It's summertime, and guess what's out there? Flies and bugs.
Yeah.
Mosquitoes. Yeah. So I go out there, me and my dumb ass, and I go out there, and, you know, I'm helping along and this and that, and I'm looking at
all good stuff off the portal.
Yeah.
We're really getting good stuff.
Yeah. So we used the Anahata, and we were doing really well with it. And everybody, I believe we had close to 20 people with us. Everybody had a nice time, very nice people. And the next day, I'm like scratching, and I'm still scratching. I got so many damn mosquito bites because of you, man.
Yeah. And your wife says, stop scratching down there. You know?
Yeah. She goes, what in the holy STDs do you have, boy?
I got Sanatorium Hill.
Yeah, I got the Sanatorium Hill. But we had a great time. But, you know, I actually bought back scratchers right after I bought them on Amazon. They came the next day.
All right, good for you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I bought those. But so we had a great time, you know, and we got a lot going on, and there's a lot more, and we're getting close to I think we're to the season. We're like less than 80 something days left to the Halloween October season, and we got a lot going on. And I actually have a nice little commercial if everybody can watch and listen to this right now. I put this out earlier today. Take it.
Captain.
Hey, boys and ghouls. Neal here from Graveside Paranormal Ghost Tours. Join us on October 26th in Watseka, Illinois for the seance at the Roth House, known for the story The Watseka Wonder, the first documented possession in America, or was it a spiritual miracle? In the end, you decide. We're going to be having ghost tours throughout the house every hour on the hour from 1 p.m. to about 2 o'clock in the morning. We are going to have vendors. We're going to have speakers. Mr. Dave Schrader himself of the Paranormal 60 podcast, as well as the Holzer Files, will be your MC for the day. Miss Diet Renee will also be out there doing the seance at 7:30 at night. And guess what, girls and boys? We are also going to be filming a documentary, so each and every one of you can be part of this unique experience. So go to gravesideparanormal.com to further details about our event, or on Facebook, and go to Eventbrite at The Seance at the Roth House. So grab your holy water, call your mama.
All right. Halloween's going to be here before we know it, Scotty.
Hey, how many takes did it take you to do?
You're going to take me to the zoo?
No, I said, how many takes did it take you to do?
Oh, that's a very good question, man. I think over 20 takes. And I was like, and I started MFing, man. I go, damn it. Took
No.
like 20 takes to do that.
You're supposed to say on the air 1, and then
Yeah, I'm an honest guy.
5:30. I don't know. I was so mad.
Yeah. Hey, so what else do you got going on for Halloween coming up?
Oh my goodness! It just got added to a bunch. I'm doing the place in Sheboygan.
Sheboygan.
Sheboygan, Wisconsin. They have that whole event. There's a whole event going on. I got to get all the details on that. That's coming up. I'm going to the Quad Cities, Rock Island. I think that one in October. I got a ton. Of stuff. I should start bringing it here so everybody sees what I'm doing.
Yeah, we're gonna get
I'll
more.
start doing it next week because we're getting close to the season. So.
Oh yeah, it's definitely getting close this season, man. But so we're gonna get.
Make sure you get down to see his tours.
Oh yeah, we're also gonna have the paranormal, the Graveside Paranormal Nightlife tours. We got those going on as well. We also got the Monroe House. Pete Christ is going to be doing that for us as well. So
let you know that there's a rumor that the paranormal guys might be at a tour.
Which tour?
I don't know. I'm not telling you. You can't tell them the date I'm coming down there, for God's sake.
You gotta tell me, dude.
I'll tell you, but I ain't telling everybody.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about this offline.
Exactly.
All right.
But you could come down and join us.
Man, look at this guy. He's like a showman. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into the weird news there, my friend, my buddy, my Pachel.
All right.
I'm going to let you start first, but let's do the promo.
Of course.
Hold on.
The Paranormal Guys, weird news.
Hey, can you do the voice again? Weird news.
Want to hear it one more time?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it one more time. Hold on.
Here we go.
The Paranormal Guys, weird news.
I try to do it like a voice, like from one of those like shock jocks type things from like the 80s.
Yeah.
So what you got for us today, sir?
I want to talk to everyone about parapsychology. Parapsychology is a field of study that explores the phenomenon beyond the scope of traditional scientific understanding. It primarily focuses on experiences and events that cannot be easily explained by conventional scientific principles. These phenomena are often telepathy, clairvoyance, psychokinesis, and other psychic abilities, as well as after-death experiences such as ghosts and hauntings. The term parapsychology comes from the Greek word para, meaning beside or beyond, and psychology, which is the study of the mind. So parapsychology can be understood as the study of mental phenomena that is beyond the ordinary. This field of research began in earnest in the late 19th and early 20th centuries when scientists and scholars began investigating reports of strange occurrences that couldn't be explained by the laws of nature at the time. Parapsychologists often conduct experiments and field studies to gather evidence and better understanding of the mysterious events. For example, in a case of telepathy, which is the ability to communicate through thoughts directly from one mind to another without use of any form of human senses, researchers might test whether individuals can send and receive specific thoughts or images under controlled conditions. Similarly, to the study of psychokinesis, which is the ability to move objects with only the mind, scientists might observe whether participants can influence physical objects without physical interactions. Kind of cool. Despite this intriguing nature of parapsychology, it remains a controversial field and is often regarded as pseudoscience by many mainstream scientific communities. This label stems from several factors, including the lack of conclusive evidence and the nature of the phenomenon it investigates, which many scientists find inherently implausible. But I'm going off script, but there are many scientists out there that wanted to do this, like Thomas Edison and others, who spent their time trying to prove that ghosts are out there and trying to talk to ghosts early on. One of the main criticisms is the difficulty of replicating experiments and the results. Scientific experiments are often expected to yield consistent results when repeated under the same conditions. However, many parapsychologist studies have faced issues with repeating, leading experts question their validity. So that's some of the big things of parapsychology. There are degrees out there. There's actually degrees in parapsychology, more in UK than in here. So
Yeah, there's colleges that actually do the parapsychology. I actually thought about actually looking into it, to going and joining a class, and they actually have classes online.
right.
They do have classes online for people out there who want to be a parapsychologist. Feel free to go out there, go online, and do a search on your Google and find a reputable college that'll do a class like that. They actually do exist,
Yeah. So
and they're actually to really understand the mind of what possibly is really going on. And maybe debunking what people think of as supernatural, paranormal.
yeah, but I don't think, and I think they'll figure it out more than they'll debunk it. So
Oh yeah, definitely,
because
definitely.
I always, as a psychic medium, I always say that until I'm told that what I'm doing is not mediumship, that I'm doing mediumship. You know what I mean?
Sure, sure.
That that
And that's the thing about what you do. Okay, I know there's going to be people out
and
there
when they
going,
can scientifically prove it, whatever it is, that's what it is. If I'm able
yeah,
to, because what was that?
I don't know, you skipped.
Are you there yet?
Yeah, you okay?
Yeah, we all did. That was kind of cool. Yeah, I'm back. Ooh, that's kind of like what my heart does when it goes into AFib. It just does that.
Yeah. Oh dear Lord, that's gotta suck.
But that's what they're. So I got my test results back, and I definitely have AFib, and my heart is well enough for surgery. So I have one more test to do, and then they're going to do the surgery to get my what do they call it? Ablation, or they
Yeah,
go
ablation.
or they go in and kill part of your heart so it doesn't beat as fast.
Yeah, my wife had an ablation. She had some years back. Um, but that's her story.
Yeah,
But yeah, she had something like that. You want to know what would be interesting is if all of a sudden you're again going to the surgery and this and that, and the doctor has a mask on, right?
yeah.
And he pulls it down, and it's me. I said, I'm ready for your ablation, Mr. Rourke.
Okay, if you know how to do it, then do it. Then it'd be a lot cheaper because you're going to do it for free.
I'm gonna cinder that sucker. Well, I got an interesting bit of news, my fine friend.
Get out of here! You don't need her.
Yeah. So I got a news from North Carolina, a Bigfoot. Now, this is a very interesting video that I'm going to show, and I'm going to show the whole thing through. It's a news one. Came from Coast to Coast AM. Our buddy Tim Banal. I'm going to show it right now.
North Carolina Bigfoot-like cryptid captured on game cam, purported to be Dogman. North Carolina game camera image purported Dogman. Could it be Bigfoot, skunk ape, or something entirely different? We ran across this image and tracked down what looks like to be the oldest post by Joey on Reddit. There is a caption stating, "Dogman caught on trail cam in North Carolina last night." The subject appears to be a real animal or creature with muscle definition. I'll enlarge the image 150%, then 200, and finish at 300, where the subject completely fills the frame. Where is its head? It must be looking down. The thighs on this thing look very powerful and thick, and look at the muscles on the back of the upper arm. Thick and powerful looking also. The front legs or arms look extremely long, or perhaps it's holding something out in front of it. Crazy, weird, and strange. I don't think this is a bear because of what looks like a reversed hinge joint, often seen in other animals like wolves, coyotes, and deer. Because it's leaning forward with its head completely down, as if it's looking at the ground, perhaps this creature is up on its toes, and what looks like a reverse hinge joint is actually the heel of a large foot, and it's utilizing a mid-tarsal break. All kinds of speculation and more questions than answers. We will report back on this if or when we find any answers that we have to what may have been captured on game camera in North Carolina. Keep on watching. We're going to keep on squatching.
So
Hey, now go back to that. Can we just go back to the video and
yeah,
not play it again?
And let me see if I can get our audio on there so you can talk. And let me take out their audio. Hold on.
North Carolina Bigfoot-like cryptid captured on game cam, purported to be Dogman. North Carolina game camera image purported Dogman. Could it be Bigfoot, skunk ape, or something entirely different? We ran across this image and tracked down what looks like to be the oldest post by.
So I can't put our audio back on there.
So if you look at his butt,
Yeah.
he's got a face on his butt.
He's got a face on his butt?
Yeah, he's got two eyes and a mouth on his butt.
So we got like a hybrid? We got some kind of hybrid?
Look at it. Go play it again.
North Carolina Bigfoot-like cryptid captured on game cam, purported to be Dogman. North Carolina game camera image purported Dogman. Could it be Bigfoot, skunk ape, or something entirely different?
So
we ran across this image and tracked down what looks like to be the oldest post by Joey on Reddit. There is a caption stating, "Dogman caught on trail cam in North Carolina last night."
I don't see
the subject appears to be a real animal or creature with muscle definition.
But what I'm going to...
I'll enlarge the image 150.
Is that...
You're going to freeze that, and you're going to bring it on. There's
it won't let me freeze it.
And then there's a mouth that goes like this.
So there's a face on his butt.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to see if I can find
a butt face.
I'm going to see if I can find a still picture, and I'm going to put that up there when we get back after the break. But here's the weird thing about it is when you look at the video, in the beginning of the video around the front end where supposedly there's supposed to be a head, there's a shadow. Okay. Yep. And what it looks like to me is it looks like someone did a paste.
Yeah.
And here, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about.
North Carolina Bigfoot-like cryptid captured on game cam, purported to be Dogman. North Carolina game camera image purported Dogman. Could it be Bigfoot, skunk ape, or something entirely different? We ran across this image and tracked down what looks like to be the oldest post by Joey on Reddit. There is a caption stating...
And then here's the other thing. Not only that is, when it's a trail cam, why isn't there another picture?
Right.
Why is there just one picture? Because usually sometimes on trail cams, they're like... Psh, psh. You know what I'm saying?
Right. At least you'll get a couple.
Yeah. Me personally, I think it's fake.
I like how the foot is, because the foot is very similar to like a flamingo,
Yeah.
because the knees are in a different place. But I
Yeah.
without a head at all, or a top. Maybe its head is in his chest, or maybe his eyes are in the butt, and we got a new creature.
Now we got ourselves a hybrid Bigfoot with a face on the butt. Yeah,
Right.
that'll do. That'll do just fine.
Call him shit face.
No, it would just be called ass face. Pardon me, ass face. Yes, sir. How can I help you?
Hey, are you talking out of your ass again? Yes, I am.
Yeah. So I personally think it's fake. It looks like, because there's a shadow at.
That's Neal. Neal thinks, and I think, shizzy.
Some bushizzies going on here. I think some bushizzies definitely going on here. It looks like a copy
You
and
better
paste.
use our phrases.
Yeah.
You
That's
don't
what it
use
looks
our
like.
phrases enough.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, when we get back, what's that?
I said bullshizzy is one of our phrases, and you don't use it enough.
Yeah. Hold on. Because so we can talk about. Hold on.
Hey, boils and ghouls, it's that time again to play Truth or Bushizzy.
This would definitely be one of the bushizzy stories.
I would agree.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, when we get back from Blood Moon Paranormal, Mr. Zak Wenzel is going to be talking to us about his new venture, his new documentary, and stand by. And as always, boys and girls, boo.
Hey there. If you're on the hunt for some captivating podcasts about the supernatural, paranormal, alien, or anything that'll send shivers down your spine, the Paranormal Guys Podcast has you covered. Find them on various streaming platforms, and don't forget to check out them on YouTube channel at Graveside Paranormal. Happy listening, and boo.
Back to the Paranormal Guys podcast.
All right, Scotty, we are back.
So something quick and easy. Hey, just so everybody knows, I did a costume change at break.
You what do you mean? Oh, do you got your Paranormal Guys t-shirt on? Let's check, man. Man.
Ooh, booyah, baby, booyah!
Styling and profiling.
I got it right there. And I even got controls to the whole show. So beware, folks, beware.
Yeah, I gave him administration role, and I don't know if this was a smart idea, but
I don't know it either. I don't know either, but enjoy it.
We're gonna find out.
I thought we have music and everything we could play. This is crazy.
We got it all. We got it all, dude.
I'm excited. He should never let me play with the controls. He goes, go ahead, take a break. Nope, I stayed and played.
Oh my God, dear Lord.
It's almost like
you have full liberty to do so. All right, Scotty, we are in luck today. We
got a great guest.
Yeah. Zak Wenzel, Blood Moon Paranormal. Me and Zak, I've known Zak for a while. Good guy.
That would be Zak and I.
Zak and I. I'm sorry, pardon me.
Because me and Zak don't know each other.
I've known him for a while now, and he put together some really good filming for supernatural paranormal events at certain locations, just like a lot of people do. But I have to say, how he puts them together, I mean, he's just very artistic. Let's put it that way. He's very artistic at what he does. And he does a great job. I want to bring him in because we're going to be talking about the Joliet State Prison. So, Zak, welcome to the Paranormal Guys podcast.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, happy to have you. So, I'm being completely honest with you. All right, take for instance when I first met you, dude. This guy, he goes out of his way. This is how artistic this guy is, right?
Okay.
He builds. I'm at this one event, and he builds this wall. It looks like a brick wall. It's his area for his table. You know, a vendor table. You know, Scotty.
Right,
but he builds like this wall, and I walk past this. I'm like, damn, dude, that's pretty good, man. Like I felt like, damn, I should have built something like that. He does a hell of a job.
I just was hoping that you weren't going to go down the road that said he was kind of like Trump and built the wall.
Yeah. No, you never know.
No, but not that.
Political stuff here, Scotty. Come on, man.
I know we don't talk politics. That's why I thought you were going there. I was like, what?
No.
Oh, okay. But He builds a
So
cool.
Zach, you reached out to me, and you're telling me that you have a new documentary that you're going to be putting out of one of the many documentaries Zak Wenzel has put out. What's going on, dude?
Yeah, so we do put out a lot of videos and stuff, and I kind of look at those as like documentary episodes. This right here is a larger scale type of deal. So it's a documentary versus the episodes we usually put out. So this is full scale thing. We spent a lot of money to make this happen, interviewed a lot of people. We do more than just one overnight at a location, and it's one location in particular, the Old Joliet Prison. So
Yeah, with the Blues Brothers.
that's right.
Yeah, the Blue. What year was that? It was like 1977, 78, something like that. That movie came out.
No.
Off the top of my head, can't remember, but it's a good one.
I know it was before your time. I know that.
By the way, it was 1980. Anyway,
Was it? Oh, sorry.
And it was this week in 1980. So
Get out.
Oh, really?
I'm a big Blues
good.
Brothers fan. So you talk about Blues Brothers, I got the data. Just like I got data on Ghostbusters. So
Yeah, he's a big Ghostbusters guy too, Zach. So who was all with you? Tell us about the whole team of Blood Moon Paranormal.
Yeah, so we have actually a team of 10. I know it seems very large, but we mitigate who goes where and stuff like that just to kind of make sure we're not too many at one location and very few at another. You go to a house, do a house investigation. There's usually 4 or 5 of us. You do a larger one like a prison, for example, and it's all of us. It's the whole crew. So for the first night of our investigation, we actually investigated the main side of the prison, and it was the whole crew that came with us. We split in half because it's a large property and investigated different buildings together.
Wow. Now you sent me some pictures. How, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you, how are they able to keep this place open the way that they have it? Let's take one picture here real quick here. Let me pull this up.
So what I will tell you about this picture right here, right? This is not the main side of the prison. This is the women's side.
Okay.
We received exclusive access by the haunted house that is operating inside of this to investigate it. It's never been investigated before. We were the first.
Right.
And that's A block right there. So the women's prison, it opened a couple years after the main side. I think it was built in the 1890s, and it was meant for women to be in there. At some point, they built a new correctional center for women down in Dwight, Illinois. They moved women out. This was holding, and then it became for the mentally ill, and then became for sex offenders and other offenders of that likeness.
Now, when you went into this area here, did you feel a difference in this area here other than the other parts of the jail?
Compared to the main side?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's very different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're both prisons, but this side right here just felt much more active and much darker than the main side.
Okay. So I worked for the Cook County Jail for over 30 years, right? And I had to work with psych females for a short-term period of my tenure there. And when we closed down a building, I would have to go through them, right? And the guys would be like this, Neal, don't start anything. I don't want to hear nothing about ghosts or blah, 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 right? Did you hear whispers inside the female part of that block?
Like people whispering?
Yes.
Not from my memory, no, but there was a lot of noise. It was insane in there.
Yeah.
That's an area of the prison that I did an alone session in. So I was completely alone in there, and
Really?
it was nonstop around me.
Wow. Did you get any good evidence in there, like EVPs?
I believe we did get an EVP. There's some that won't be in the documentary that we did get, but they're so distant. I didn't want to include.
Yeah, no, you don't want to do the inaudibles.
no, but as a psychic medium, I want to ask you this question: what do you hope to gain by doing an alone session? And are you prepared enough? Are you do you have your protection on? Because most of the time we tell people don't investigate by yourself?
Yeah, so we do this a lot on our investigations. We call them isolations. It's usually about 15 minutes by ourselves within a section of where we're investigating. And the purpose of it is to kind of introduce ourselves to the spirits there, because when we're all, coming at them all together, they might feel a little intimidated by a group of people. So the idea is to isolate yourself there and they won't feel as intimidated. You can introduce yourself. So that's kind of
Okay.
just there. I personally don't use protection, but I'm fine if other people on my team do.
Okay. Yeah,
Don't
because
use protection. I'm going to stop there.
yeah,
So,
like
well, how do you protect yourself and not let any spirits come home with you?
I won't sit here and say that none haven't, because I definitely have. I have some buddies with me, but they're it's all pretty tame, nothing too crazy. So
because when I was at the Lake County Jail last year, I started getting the feelings of jealousy and hatred, just angry, and it lasted in me for about a good 2 weeks, Scotty, because you and I are kind of similar. Whereas you start to take on other things, emotions and stuff like that, and a jail, a prison that Zach's in, highly negative place.
Yes.
And if all those energies just feed off of negativity all the time, were you nervous about going into a prison like this?
I think at first I was okay, because I was like, my adrenaline was going. I'm ready to investigate this place, because, like I said, it was exclusive access. I worked for the haunted house there. We got exclusive access. It happened, and I was so excited to be doing this.
Right.
And then, like, as soon as I got put inside of that cell block by myself, and I had a heartbeat monitor going. You can see it in the corner in the documentary.
Oh, really?
Um,
Wow.
yeah, my heart rate got up to, I think it was about 160.
Mm-hmm.
So I was pretty scared in there. I mean, you're in there by yourself in the dark. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
So
Imagine go back in a time capsule and think
Uh,
about being an inmate there.
yeah.
I'll be the bad one. If you're protected, you don't have to be scared. Just saying. We'll fight on this, because I believe in this really. For any protection doesn't stop the spirits from working with you and talking with you and interacting with you. It just gives you that barrier between you and them. And that's the biggest thing that anyone needs when they investigate, is to make sure that they're protected and that they have that barrier, because you just don't know the intent of the spirits that are around
Right.
you.
You don't know intent. You don't know the
Yeah.
intent.
No, I understand that. I've been doing it for 10 years now, and it's just not for me personally. So, like I said, if any of my crew wants to do the protection stuff, they're more than welcome to. My girlfriend is a witch. She's Wiccan. So she
Nice.
does some of that stuff. She supplies stuff to some of the crew to be like, look, this is this crystal or rock. This does this. If they want it, then they could do that. It's not for me.
It's your choice. It's
Yeah.
your choice, Zach. I mean, you do what you do. Everybody does their own thing, and I don't knock anybody for anything. So let's go into another picture here and tell us where we're at. Hold on. It's coming up. Hold on. This button sometimes.
Neil doesn't have control of the controls like I do.
Where are we at here?
So this is also the women's side. This is B block. So the stairs right there at the very end, that's where I was sitting for my entire isolation, the 15 minutes.
Did you go? So you didn't go inside any of the cells?
We did when we started investigating together.
Okay.
Typically during the isolations, we're sat down in one spot. So that's what we did. And like I said, stuff was just happening all around me. One thing that's not in the episode that I'll talk about real quick is if you look up to the top left, the railing right there.
Yeah.
When we were in there doing B-roll, so we were doing some B-roll, there was light coming through just like this is right here. I looked up, like I kind of glanced, like when you're just like looking around, you kind of glance up real quick.
Yep.
Glanced up for a split second. I saw one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen in my life. It was like a fully gray-skinned, naked being. No, like kind of a blank expression. The facial features weren't very clear. No hair, no clothes, crouched down, staring at me. I looked up, saw it, looked back down, it looked back up, it was gone.
Wow.
It
Now
was,
you said this was the psych part of it, and like I said, I worked with like psych for over 22 years, and these are some of the, when especially if they come to a prison, Zach, these are some of the most notorious women that are put in prison. I know a lot of women who are put in prisons are baby killers.
yeah.
There's a lot
So
of baby killers that are put inside prisons, especially in Dwight. Dwight had a lot.
I will say this was a women's prison for only a period of time until they built the White Correctional Center for the women. Once
Right.
they built that, they moved the women out and to the Dwight Correctional Center. After that, that's when this section right here was used for mentally ill, like men, sex offenders, and other people alike. It was also holding for a short period of time.
Right. So Zach, let's talk this figure. Did it resemble more human, or did it resemble? And I'm going to go down this road, but was it alien?
It was humanoid. It was humanoid, like looking, if that makes sense. It was so quick that I can't tell you if it was like human or alien. I wouldn't be able to distinguish that within the time I
Right.
saw it because it was very, very quick.
Hmm.
And you
Now,
can
was
ask my
that
entire crew. I'm not call that kind of stuff, but yeah,
like? Would you say it looked like? All right, you remember the movie Signs
I don't know if I've seen that
with
one.
Mel Gibson?
I don't believe I've
All
seen
right,
that one.
don't worry about that. So when you're in here by yourself, how long do you put yourself in this isolation?
15 to 20 minutes. I believe we did 20 minutes here.
And do you have a communication to communicate with anybody if anything goes wrong?
Yes, we have walkie-talkies.
All right, so you got your walkie-talkie with you, and I know you've been doing this a long time, dude. But just understand for the people who are out there who aren't familiar with you, we want to get a complete idea of exactly what you do. You know,
Yeah. We always like to make sure, if we check the walkie distance before we start the timer. So we'll make sure that because it's all limestone and it's very, very thick limestone.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
we like to make sure that we can hear it. So they were not very far from me. They were um, down the stairs to the left and in that hallway right there. Like, I wouldn't have been able to hear them at all. Again, the floor is like this thick and it's stone, or limestone. So
yeah, yeah. And a lot of those limestones they came from the quarry that over in Thornton, Illinois. I believe that's where a lot of it came from.
actually, so the limestone there, a lot of it came from behind the building, behind the women's side. There's a
Really?
quarry right there. It's now a pond because it's filled with water. There's a building in the water as well. You can see it on Google Earth, and they actually brought the prisoners up from Alton, Illinois, the Civil War prison.
Yeah, yeah.
They had them dig the stone out and place the stones around themselves to create the prison.
Wow, I
Yeah.
did not know that. I did not
That's
know
really
that.
cool.
That's awesome. Do you tell that all inside the documentary about that kind of history?
Yeah, we go very in depth with it. I found one of the best Joliet prison historians I could find, as well as several other people, such as a guard. So we interview an actual guard that was at the prison. He talks about his experiences working there, and a couple of other people as well. Talk about ghosts and such. So
Oh yeah. I mean
So
that play. Go ahead, Scotty. What were you saying?
no, I was going to say, as a part of your team, then you said that your girlfriend was the witch.
yes,
Do you let her use her abilities in the investigations, or do you all just try, or do you have a medium on your team, or
we don't have a medium. They seem to think for some reason that I have medium abilities. I don't. I don't think so, but they seem to think
we'll
that.
talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. If she wants to use some of those witch abilities or the stones or whatever, I let her. Whatever she feels, she's more than welcome to. Brings a nice dynamic to the team.
Right.
But I know she likes it, so
All right, that's fine. So let's go into the next picture. The next one that I have here. I think this is number 5. Hold on. So where are we at now?
So this is the front. So all of these pictures that I'm showing you is all from the women's side
You
of
have
the
it
prison.
up, Neil? I don't see it.
You don't see what?
I don't see the picture. It's not on.
Yeah, it is.
I see it.
It is?
Yeah, it's right in front of you.
Where?
It's on the screen.
It is not.
I don't know why it's not on your end. Here, I'll turn it off for a second. What's that?
Now I see it.
Oh my God, that glaucoma. That glaucoma's a son of a.
I know, it's crazy.
Go ahead, Zach. I'm sorry, buddy.
No, you're all good. So all of these photos are all from the women's side. I kind of wanted to showcase the women's side a little bit because not a lot of people get to see it. This right here is the front entrance. So
Right.
behind the closed gate is where the front door is. And then you would check in right to the right there. And whether you're visiting or what have you.
Right, that'd be a post. So that
Yes.
would be a post right there. Yeah. And did you get any activity in that area there?
We didn't investigate too much, but the feeling in there is almost almost rushy. Like whatever's in there is in and out. So we didn't investigate too much in there, but it's kind of the central point to everywhere else. So, I mean, if you're coming through those doors, you go to the right, you're going down to the basement in the cellar area. You go to the left, you're going to offices. You go straight, you're going to cells.
Okay. And you said you had about 10 people with you, huh?
For this one, it was just 4 of us.
Oh, just 4. So did you guys have it more than one date?
Yes. So we actually originally had planned 3 dates total, 3 overnights.
Oh,
And the first one happened at the main side. The second one was on the women's side. And we were supposed to go back to the main side to do a collaboration with groups from Maryland, Texas, Michigan, Indiana, I want to say Pennsylvania, and Canada. So it was supposed to be a huge collaboration investigation of the prison, and we were bringing in these teams, and then something unfortunately happened, and we weren't allowed to go investigate the prison again. So
can you tell us what unfortunately happened?
Yeah, we can go into detail a little bit. I don't want to go too much because it is covered in the documentary.
Okay.
But
I mean, if you can.
Yeah, so pretty much I received a phone call. What's that?
Give us the highlights.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so I received a phone call pretty much, and they told me that they were canceling our reserved overnight, violated our contract with them, and I couldn't get a hold of anyone after that point from there, especially the head guy that apparently made that decision.
Wow.
So it turned into a whole thing, and then articles and articles and articles started coming out about people getting fired from the prison, and
now they don't let anyone in anymore, do they?
For investigations, they did bring it back.
Oh, did they? Okay.
It's for 4 hours. It's $5,000 on a weekday, $10,000 on a weekend.
See, that's crazy, man.
It's because they don't want people to investigate it, and it's like if you want to, then you're going to pay our terms,
Wow, and that's a ridiculous amount of money.
So I'm glad you got to go in and you can show us, with your documentary on what that place is, because I really don't think many people are going to investigate anymore. It sounds very similar. It sounds very similar to the Conjuring House and all the crap going on there right now. So
it's very unfortunate.
Would you say you're one of the last people who was able to do filming in there?
I believe that there was a couple of other groups after us, and I know Chris Fleming did an event there because he had like a very, very solid contract with them. He was the last group to investigate, as far as I know, because he had a solid contract. They couldn't violate it and cancel it like they did with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was last year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when did you guys start filming this then?
We started filming it in July of last year.
July of last year, because he was doing something, and I think he was doing it with Dave too.
It was him.
Yeah, both of them were doing it. I think for October, late September, early October, they had an event there. I remember seeing that in the social media.
Yeah, so our second date on the main side that we were supposed to have that they canceled, it was supposed to be beginning of September, and they completely replaced it with a flashlight tour. And they initially told us, well, it's too dangerous for you guys to do investigations. And it's like, well, how come you guys are doing flashlight tours at night now?
Yeah.
Or especially during the same date. So it was a whole thing. We really go into it in the documentary, especially the firings. That gets gone into quite a bit.
Good.
Good. So
So your thing is kind of also a reveal.
Yeah, I mean, it was I planned to make this very big as possible from the beginning. And when they canceled our third night, right? They canceled our third night that we were supposed to have. It completely shambled off the end of the documentary. And I had to go back and figure out what can I do from here to still make this thing originally what I wanted it to be. And the end product of that is now that this is not just a paranormal documentary. It's not just a history documentary. It's an emotional piece.
Right.
So
you put a lot of hard work into something, and all of a sudden the rug is just pulled out from underneath you. I understand that feeling. I totally understand. And I'm going to tell you something, Zach. It's good that you're going to say what you're going to say, and I once I watch it, I'm going to find out, of course. And stick to your guns on it, dude. Because when things are wrong, and especially in this community, when they do certain things where they either give you a false advertisement, false pretense on something, and they don't go follow through with their things, they should be talked about.
But Neal, a lot of people were treated quite badly during this whole thing, and it's great that you're coming out with this, Zach, because a lot of people were hurt pretty badly over how this went down.
Yeah, and I've talked with all of them, and they might even be in the documentary talking about it. So
good.
It's like I said, it gets emotional, especially towards the end with this whole.
I'm tuning in, and once you get that, make sure you share it so I could share it on everything that we have. Man, I'm going to put that sucker up, man. This just sounds intriguing to me. Interesting.
Yeah. It's it was unexpected how it turned, but I think that this is really gonna hopefully do something and impact it to where they realize, like, oh man, we maybe shouldn't have fired them. Maybe we should have not, put down the ghost stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an interesting one, that's for sure. I mean,
we'll leave it as you shed some light on something. You're going to shed some light on something simple. But let's get back into the investigation part. So I'm going to pull up this another picture that you sent me. This looks like the stairwell.
Yes. So this is the main stairwell. So when we were on that other picture, you enter and go to the left. That's the stairwell to the left. Beautiful, beautiful woodwork. Unfortunately, because of the roof damage, water has gotten to it. And there was also a fire, I'm assuming, while it was abandoned.
Yeah.
But beautiful, beautiful woodwork. It's all wood.
Dude, I see. I was looking at that, and Scotty, look at those railings, and look at the what are they called? Between the railings.
Balustrades.
Yeah, balustrades. Look at how they have the swivel to it and everything. That is pure beauty. Man, so just so you know, they actually had that, Zach, in a place that they used to call Division 1 at the county jail. That used to be the original Chicago lockup. That they had stuff just like that. It was just so beautiful. And then they knocked it down about 2 years ago, the Division 1. And that place there, oh my God, that place was hopping, dude. I tried to do a documentary on there, and I was this close to getting in on that thing. But you had to take it in front of the board, and they said, Neal, I don't think we can do this to you. It's too much of a insurance problem. So I said, all right, I understand. It is what it is. But I told them that it was actually going to be officers who actually work there who were going to help out, who were all into the paranormal, because there's a lot of people who are in law enforcement, corrections, and stuff like that are totally into the paranormal, man. But I got that shot down. So here's what it is. But
I'm sorry to hear that.
I do. I was totally
cool.
because we had a lot of really cool stories inside that place. I won't get into it because this is about you, buddy. But
Yeah, Neil likes to talk.
yeah, I do like to talk. I can't help it. My mom used to always say, "Will you ever shut up, boy?" And I said, "Well, I don't know, Mom." So the other thing is, what did anybody get any physical things happen to them inside the jail, in prison?
I'm not too sure about the other group on the main side. That's the section I'm still working on. As far as I know, no one got touched or anything like that. So nothing physical happened to anyone. But I mean, that place is still probably one of the most haunted places in the U.S.
Okay.
If I'm going to be honest with you.
Would you say you got a lot of those pretty good EVPs though?
We got some.
Yeah, that's
We got
good.
some. It's a noises place for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean,
very intelligent too.
yeah, because a lot of them are stuck there, inside jails and prisons.
By their own choice.
Yeah, by choice. And take for instance, like suicides. How many suicides happen in prisons? And I'm under that old thinking of suicide. When you commit suicide, you're stuck in that little area. Because I've actually come across these kind of cases before with suicides, and they're just stuck.
Yeah,
and they're stuck.
We'll be talking off air on this one, man. Because I definitely don't believe that.
No, it's only because I've come.
It's all because of choice.
Sure, it's by choice, and that person
made that person's choice. I mean, it's not the fact that they killed themselves by choice. It's the fact that they still stay where they are by choice. And most spirits get that way because when they were in jail, most of them had hierarchy. Most of them were, because they were told they were scum of the earth. They told they were the most awful people ever to be. And then when they said they were going to go to hell, because most religions taught them they were going to go to hell unless they repented, and most of the people there didn't repent. So when they died, why would they take a chance and try to go to heaven, or when they see the light and they cross over, why would they go it when they could stay there in that prison, which they know, which they had friends, they had family there, they had, they were the top of the chain, they had all this hierarchy, they had all this formality that they still like. So they're going to stay there and experience it over and over and over again, because to them, that is better than running and trying to go to the other side and going to hell, even though they won't. But that's the biggest thing. And then people who die of suicide, same thing. If they determine that their soul is not worthy to move on, then they stay where they happen, because they are taught that. People tell them that, they believe that, and then people stay there. Sorry to jump on my soapbox, but
wow, Scotty, wow.
but I love prisons for the fact, because I love going into them. Like, I've gone into Eastern State, I've gone into Mansfield, I've done all these prisons, and it's great to work with the spirits there to try to help them realize that they can move on. Who's whistling?
That's my cat. He's meowing.
Nice, I like that. I think you should show yourself, honey. But that's the thing too. I mean, that's why I like going into these places, to try to tell these souls, hey, why don't we move on? Why don't you cross over? Why don't you do it? Because that there's something so much better waiting for you, and then to be stuck here. And because the thoughts of religion aren't right. You can move on without any qualms. No one's going to judge you. You're just going to be in a better place.
So, okay. Now, Zach, what are those 3 days that you were there? Were there any differences?
What's Kitty's name, first of all?
Oh, Killicky.
Oh, hi, honey.
What does that name mean?
I don't know. Are you aware of the Irish cat demon?
Yeah.
No.
It's a painting in Ireland, a house in Ireland, and it's apparently haunted.
Imagine that.
His name is Killicky, so I named my cat Killicky. So, yeah.
You gave your cat a demon's name?
Oh, I don't think that's. We'll talk about demons off air too, Neil.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
Not going
So
to jump
out of
on
those
that
3 days,
spot.
out of those 3 days that you were there,
He was there
did
too.
you have any of the
Two.
days that you felt was what's
He
that?
doesn't listen. You don't
Oh yeah,
listen.
two out of the three. 2 out of 3. I'm sorry. You're right, Scotty. I'm sorry.
I know. Come on, man. Get
Is
with-
that was there anything like a different kind of a feel going into them?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, the main side was very kind of rushed, right? Because we had a time limit there. On the women's side, we didn't really have a time limit. The women's side is much darker, and the fact that it's pretty untouched by investigators, I think that's why. There's a lot of energy that's built up, and then they just want to release it. They want to talk to us. They want to interact, and
You are correct.
with the women's side also being a haunted attraction, right out those cell windows of that cell block is a part of the attraction, right? They're seeing people get scared. That energy from all those people getting scared, it's coming in there. They're seeing that. They want to interact. They want to scare us. They want to be able to do that, just like those people are scaring the customers that come through.
Sure.
You know.
Like they want to be part of the haunted house.
Right. And that's actually part of the documentary we talk about is there's a cell where the actors will go into and then pop out to scare, the customers walking through. And in this cell, actors are reported being touched. They're reporting being like this darker entity being behind them. And I don't think it's like an evil entity. I think this person sees them scaring people and they're like, oh, I want to scare you now.
Yep,
Let's
exactly.
join in on the fun. So it's this one cell, and I've heard it from at least 5 to 6 actors that have not talked to each other about it. Because they'll come to me because I'm the production tech there at the prison, and they'll come to me and they'll be like, they know I hunt the ghosts. They'll be like, yeah, this cell, it's kind of weird in there. I just don't want to be in there. I'll go to a different cell because it's weird in there. And I'm like, oh, what cell? And they'll tell me the cell number. So
yeah,
it's just
any
funny.
Shadow people?
Shadow people? There are reports of that from the actors. I have not seen one there. The only thing I've seen is that apparition that was crouched over looking at me.
So that's your personal thing that happened to you inside that woman's division.
Yes, and obviously other stuff during the investigation, but that was something that I've never seen in my entire life before.
That's weird. That's weird.
So I want to talk about Zach.
Okay.
All right, Zach.
So why don't we
ready, Zach?
No, I want to start back because I don't know you well enough yet, and either do the people watching or listening to us either. So tell us about Zach. Tell us how you started in this and what you got your goat and started moving you towards the paranormal.
Yeah. So when I was 8 years old, when I was 6, I moved into this area. But when I was 8, this street right here that I live on, it's a lot of older people, and there wasn't many kids to hang out with and play with and stuff like that. So eventually this kid came down, and he came to his grandmother's house every other weekend. And he came down. He's like, hey, I heard you're kind of new to the area. Do you want to go to my grandma's house and play GameCube with me? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. GameCube. I love GameCube. And, yeah. So we go over there, and we go into his grandmother's living room area. And there's this older TV that has like the reflection. A lot of them now have like that matte look to them. Had a reflection to it. And I noticed this painting in it, right? There was a painting of a little girl reflected onto the TV, and she was frowning. Well, I was like, all right. I turned around. The painting was smiling. So I was like, that's weird. I said something to him. He's like, I don't like it in here. The painting freaks me out. That little girl freaks me out. He's like, but this is the only TV I can use. So I just kind of put up with it and ignore it. And we turned on the TV and we moved on. A couple years go by. I start getting more and more into the ghost stuff. I start watching the ghost shows, ghost adventures, ghost hunters like Taps and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I want to go do this. I want to see if this stuff is actually real. Because I had that experience, but I didn't believe it,
Sure.
So his sister starts overhearing us talking about it. And she goes, there's an asylum 2 hours south of you. and it's abandoned. My friend snuck into the pool area. You guys can do the same. Mind you, I'm 12 at the time. Just telling a 12-year-old to do this. So what do? I tell my mom, I'm like, hey, look, I want to do this. Let's drive 2 hours and go sneak into an abandoned asylum.
What?
So my mom drives us down, and
Is that the one in Peoria?
Yes.
Okay.
We show up to it's the Bowen building.
Yeah.
We show up to the Bowen building, and it's all lit up in purple lights. And we're like, well, this isn't abandoned. So we start walking up to the door, and I will never, never forget the guy that comes out, because this is like my turning point of like, I just became a ghost hunter. The guy comes out, and he goes in a Southern accent, y'all here for the ghost tour? Yeah, now we are. Let's we sign up, we pay the fee, we do it. It was like a public hunt. It wasn't anything like super crazy, but it was like 2 or 3 hours of investigating this place, and the rest is history.
That was nice of your mom to, some parents, they would have said no to something like that.
Yeah, she was very open to letting me try different things. She put me in theater for a while. I didn't like it. I did guitar lessons. I played guitar for a little bit. She wanted me to just experience and do different things. She wants the experience too. And she did it with us for a while until I turned 18 and I started like driving the crew down to investigations, and she stopped. And yeah, so
all right.
Very cool mom.
That's a good story.
That's awesome.
That's a good story.
Yeah.
So Zach, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
So what would you say to anybody, since you've done been at a prison or anything like that, or anybody who wants to now go to a prison? What is the best thing how to go about doing that?
A prison investigation?
Yeah.
Don't let them intimidate you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're inmates. They're gonna want to intimidate you,
Mm-hmm.
And what I like to do, and probably not the best practice at prisons, but I like to tell them, I'm like, there's no guards here right now. Run crazy, run rampant, we want to see you spike it up a little bit. Like, there's no guards. Riot, let's go.
Let's go, man.
Yeah.
Let's tear this such and such up, man.
Yeah. I try to get them riled up a little bit.
Yeah,
I try not the best
I'm gonna tell you
practice.
something. You're going to. I have to tell you, man. I love this idea that you were there. I love what you're telling me, how you're going to shed some light on something, and man, I'm looking forward to watching this. I'll tell you that, buddy. Scotty, you got anything else?
I do. I'm going to get into. You know what I was going to bring back, right, Zach?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I told you I already have gifts. You know where I'm coming with this.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this. When did you first realize? Because I know you've had this for a while.
It's
sorry,
not
to read you, but you're on my show, so
it's not necessarily a realization, because I feel like I don't have gifts, and I'm
okay. We'll talk about that as we go here.
Yeah, I'm rough on myself in that sense, because I don't 100% believe in that stuff, but I also, when it happens, I'm like, all right, that's a little weird. I can't explain that. So, I guess the biggest thing that happens in terms of my gifts or abilities,
right,
is I will have a dream about something, and it'll be in the middle of a dream. So I'll be having a dream about rainbows and unicorns and this random stuff, right? Bam! All of a sudden, something will happen, and it'll switch to more reality type, right?
Right.
And something will happen in that dream, and then like months later, it'll happen in real life. And I call them my deja vu moments,
Sure.
Type deal. And I was told from a friend of mine, Bob Trizek, he's local to here in the Chicago community. He's like, pay attention whenever that happens. So
very much so.
Have a dream that feels real. Remember that when it happens in real life, pay attention to the events that happen around it, because they could be pretty significant.
Correct.
So
have you ever heard of Alison Dubois?
Sounds familiar.
Okay, she was. They did the TV show about her. She's a real medium. She's really in Phoenix. It's the TV show, The Medium, was based on her with her name.
Mhm.
Anyway, that's how she got. That's how she still gets her mediumship, is through dreams. So everybody has it different. I don't get it through dreams. I get it through talking to dead people. So I'm very much more like the ghost whisperer than the medium. But everybody gets it differently.
Mhm.
And the dreams is very, very, there's a lot of people like you, though, Zach, that get them through dreams. And then they do happen. And deja vu is just us getting that and having that realization that it happened before. Yes, it happened before because somebody's showing you what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And when you get those, that's cool. But then I will tell you that when you get those moments, that you should spend the next moments trying to build upon it, because they're there now for real. Now they showed it to you. Now why is it happening, and what am I supposed to get out of it?
Yeah.
So now you need to talk with it and work with the spirits that are there, and say, hey, okay, thank you very much. I understand this is my moment, but now what are we going? Where is this going? And how, and what are the next steps?
Right.
And the more you do that, the more you work with it and understand. I've met so many paranormal people. Dave Schrader's one of them. When he first met me, he didn't believe in mediums and made fun of me like everybody else does, But we just talked to Dave this weekend, and he really believes in mediums now.
Oh yeah, he does.
So there's a thing, and I can't tell you how many paranormal investigators I've worked with that now have gifts because they work in the field. They start seeing this stuff, and they start understanding that they've always had the gifts.
Yes.
But they say they're too scientific, so they don't want to allow that portion of this to be a part of them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm happy that at least when you have it, you get the aha moments. But be happy with those moments, because they're trying to tell you something. They're very comfortable with you as an investigator, and they're showing you stuff that's going to happen. Go the next step. Work it harder.
Yeah, I agree with Scotty. And if I may just be on the tail of that, is for me, I've learned to embrace, I guess, the gifts that people like to say. For a time in my life, I suppressed it for a long, long time. But I think once you start to embrace what's going on, they're going to be a little more. You're going to have more clarity on it. You really are. And it's about when you're going to these sites, and I understand, and I'm not disrespecting or anything. I know you've been doing this 10 years. But the more and more that you're doing it, Zach, the more and more stronger you're actually getting at it. The more in tune you are getting at it. Learn to recognize that and start to embrace it. Once you start to embrace it, it's going to start really working. I promise you that, dude. It's going to really start.
I've had, just so you know, I'm an old guy.
No way. No, not you.
And so I'm almost 58. So I've seen ghosts since I was 3. So go figure how many years that I've been working with spirits. Yeah. But the more that I just want you to understand is that everybody has, and we say the gifts, but it's not really the gifts. It's your acceptance of what you have inside of you. Because I am built no different than Neal. I am built no different than you. I am built no different than any other spirit person. I just accepted this portion of my realizations. Yeah. My senses. I just use my one more sense, because it's just another sense. Right. The sixth sense is a good way to put it. It's just one more sense, and I've accepted that, and I don't think that, and I think everybody, and I say this in all my lectures and everything, I always say everybody has these. It's if you accept it or if you don't. If you don't, that's fine, but there's so much more, especially when we investigate. Especially so much more we can get out of those investigations when we accept.
All right. Well, Zach, I want to say thank you very much. I appreciate you reaching out to us to want to get your story out there about the prison, and I'm looking forward. Give us a date on when that the documentary is going to come out, buddy.
I want to say thank you real quick for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
No problem.
The date that it comes out is October 17th of 2024. So it comes out in the middle of October. It's a Thursday. It'll be premiering on our YouTube channel, Blood Moon Paranormal, at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's Project Limestone. It'll be at first thing in the title. Probably have something after that, kind of explaining a little bit, but Project Limestone is the official title of the.
Oh, wow. Really? Project Limestone. I like that. I really do.
Yeah.
Man, that's different. All right. Well, Zach, anything else you got going on? Did you like to tell everybody?
We just have our investigations on our YouTube channel. We've done quite a bit. They're high quality videos with
You do.
real paranormal content, not that fake stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
And we do local stuff. So if you're local to the Joliet area, we've done places like Embers, Joliet Tavern, Stagecoach Saloon, Moosa Greek Tavern, the studio, Old Joliet Union Station. So we do local stuff as well as travel. So we've been quite a bit of places.
I've always wanted to get into Union Station.
It's beautiful in there.
Yeah, I bet.
All right. Well, that's Zach.
Hey, before you dish them out, how haunted is that place?
Union Station?
Yeah.
It's pretty haunted. It's not like crazy like the prison, but it's
no, but
it's haunted.
Yeah. I mean, just in itself, I've always seen that place, and I was just like, wow, I've always wanted to be there.
Well, maybe I'll take you on a field trip.
Well, maybe Zach can get me in there. That's what I'm trying to talk about. And you're trying to blah 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 blah.
Neal's nobody. Neal's a nobody. Come on.
I'm trying to get Zach to get us into these cool places.
Well, Zach,
Zach would have a medium on his team. There you go.
Yeah, man, do you know how many shows this guy's been on? This guy's been on all over that darn Travel Channel, sci-fi stuff.
All over the place, but
all over the place. All right. Well, this is Zak Wenzel with Blood Moon Paranormal. Check him out on YouTube. Check out on October 17th, Limestone Project, Project Limestone. Zach, once again, thank you very much. Scotty, you got anything to say before we leave?
Other than boo, no.
I say boo, damn it. Like always, boys and girls,